Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drive-By Reviews, where today we're looking at the MG V2 3-axis gimbal for mirrorless cameras from Feiyutech. And I'm excited about this gimbal. It's about to bring my videos to that next GQ level. Let's dive right into the unboxing of this awesome gimbal. All right, here we go. Cracking open the box, see what's inside. Hopefully a gimbal. All right, right up at the top here, it looks like we have the strap nesting on top of the whole package. A nice little nylon strap that you can attach to the case here in case you want to carry it around. Makes it a little bit more portable, a little easier to carry. Oof, it looks like we have just the right amount of space in this box. They didn't really waste any space, nothing else in there besides just the case and the gimbal. All right, plastic. You know what I'm going to need now? My twin blades. Swing, swing. Excellent. All right. Everybody never play with knives. Now, what I like about this case is it's not too flashy, but I can tell it's going to do the job of protecting the gear. Feels very sturdy. All right, popping this open. Oh, and there it is. The MGV2 gimbal. Looks like we got a warranty card up front here. All right. Well, take a look at that later. And looks like an instruction manual. Always necessary, especially with a gimbal. You'd be surprised. And I'll go through that here in a second, just about how it works and everything. Hey! Get out of there, shit. Alright, looks like we got a battery charger. Doesn't look like a smart charger necessarily, but it'll get the job done. And here we have, looks like the handle where the batteries go in and screws onto the gimbal. And then here we have the gimbal itself with its 3 motors. And they've got it in there. And there it is, in all its glory. I like the design. I hear it's simple to use. You've got your rolling, pan, and tilt motors. And that's how it holds the camera steady. We have to set that up though. What's nice is each one of these little levers here, I believe, are quick release. All right, on the back side, let's take a look. Ah, yes, it's the expansion. So the back side here is where they put all the tools, all the gear to allow you to go into different modes, like 2 hands, 1 hand, horizontal one-handed handle, and so on, to let you put this into different configurations to use as you see fit. All right, I got it all set out, now let's put it together. Humpty Dumpty. So to put it into its first mode, which is considered handheld mode, single handheld mode, you just take its main handle and you throw in 2 of the 4 18650 batteries with the plus side up. And then you just screw it on to the gimbal itself. So just put it on there, kind of screw it in, and now it's basically ready to go. But we got to get the camera on there. We just take our Sony a6000, which is what I'm going to be using. If you're going to use a camera like this, a smaller camera with a smaller lens, this peg out towards the front. Let's get it on. Now originally you have to balance this whole thing. I'm not going to take you through the entire balancing process because this is just a review and an unboxing. But if you guys are interested in seeing that, a detailed tutorial on how to balance this, just let me know in the comments below and I will do that later. But every time you take the camera off and put it back on, you have to rebalance at least the tilt. So we're going to do that. And actually I'm pretty spot on. I just got to go slightly backwards here. I'm a perfectionist, I know. Pretty good. Pretty balanced. All right, now when you turn the gimbal on, its default mode is to take you into panning mode, where rolling and tilt are fixed, and panning will slowly and smoothly go with you. And it's based on, of course, your handle, so as you turn your handle, that's how the camera moves. Pretty cool, huh? All right, now the next mode you have is panning and tilting mode, and that's if you double tap the function button twice, it's going to put you right into that mode. That's where just the rolling is locked. So if you go right and left, you still have that nice smooth panning. But you also have this pretty cool up and down smooth motion, right? So as you look up and down, it's no longer locked, but it's allowed to glide through that. The only thing locked is the rolling, so it won't roll left and right. All right, now the next function you can use is not a mode necessarily, but it's a 180 flip, which is a really cool device to use in cinematography. And that is 1, 2, 3 taps, and there she goes, 180. 1, 2, 3, 180. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, that's just going to reset it back to its initial mode, which is, of course, panning mode, right? Where you've got the roll locked and you've got the tilt locked. And then you have the 4 modes of this device. Turn it off, you just hold the button for 3 seconds till it really blinks solid red, then it's off. If you do it for just 1 second, it'll go into standby mode and it'll remember what mode you left it in. Otherwise, when you turn it off, next time you turn it on, it'll go right back into panning mode. Alright, now the gimbal really shines in its modes. However, you do also have the way to manually control it with the joystick, which is just above the function button. And when it's in panning mode here, it's quite easy to use. All you do is push right to go right, left to go left, up to go up, and down to go down. And although it's a little bit choppier than going into, say, panning and tilting mode, as well as just panning mode, it is a nice way to do, maybe if you want to do just one particular motion specifically and then stop at a certain point, it's one way to do it. But I would say it's almost easier if you want to do that kind of a pan to just move yourself and let the gimbal do its job as it's designed to do. Alright, now there's two other configurations you can use with the gimbal. So I'm just going to take this apart for a second. And it's actually kind of interesting how they set it up, because they set it up for the power, the batteries, and the handle to move. So you have this little adapter you can use to either put the gimbal into what's called portable mode or two-hands mode. And of course, two-hands mode is the most stable way you can use the gimbal. So you just take the adapter and you throw it onto the gimbal end, just like that. And then you take one of the arm adapters and you stick it on and you screw that on as well. These are basically just hexagon pieces that kind of shove in there. And then the outside ring is what screws on. And that way you can get it nice and tight. Then on the back side, you've got your connector there, and that's where this piece, the handle and the batteries, that's where they go in. And this is actually the two-hand I'm going into. But without these, that's basically the portable version. And then when you add these on, that's the two-hand version. So the two-hand version has the right and the left. And you basically have these little tension levers where you just kind of throw them to the right, and it tightens them down. So you can move those handles wherever you want them. That's what's kind of nice about this gimbal. Everything's adjustable with just a couple twists. Some people like things a little more permanent than that. I personally like it when it's easy to adjust and remove. It just makes everything go faster. And there you have it. There's two-hands mode. All right, now when you're in two-hands mode, everything basically works the same. You know, when you turn the gimbal on, it's going to function the same as it did when you had it in your single-hand mode. But the biggest difference is that gimbals work best when you hold its handle perfectly level. And it's just a lot easier to do when you have two hands compared to when you have that one-hand setup. But it just really depends on what the cameraman wants to do, how portable he wants to make it, where he wants to be holding onto the gimbal. And there you have it. And there you guys go. There's the three configurations for the handheld setup on the MGV2 gimbal. Now I'm going to jump outside and take some test shots with this guy and see what it can do when it's put through its paces in some of the extreme weather we're having out here in the Northwest. Alright, there you guys had it. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a ton of fun playing with the MGV2 gimbal out there. And really, I find it just works fantastically well with the a6000 and its autofocus capabilities. I mean, you just throw this guy into video mode and you can just go to town. And everything just looks fantastic out there. So it gets high marks from me. I love the fact that this was more of an affordable choice compared to the other ones out there. But compared to things like Steadicams and other ways people try to get around and cheat, this is just way better. And it's so easy and portable to bring around. It's just a fantastic tool, and I'm looking forward to using it in future videos ahead. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys get your gimbal on in the future. And I'll see you guys next time on Drive. Bye.